Friends, today we're going to talk about setting up a new bike for you when you first get a new bike or you let someone borrow your bike, they adjust it for them. How can you make a big BMX bike feel like you remember from the 80s? Well, two places you can adjust your bike super quickly to make it fit and feel great. Your seat and your handlebars. We're going to talk about it today. Your seat has three angles that you can adjust. The height, where it lands on the rail, and then up and down the tilt and the angle of the saddle itself. Handlebars, you can adjust forward and backwards. I've pulled my handlebars back towards me closer using a shorter stem. That's a Speedline Racer Head front load stem that's 48 millimeters instead of the 50-30 or 56 most stock handlebar stems are. So what I do, I adjust both of those things to fit me. Handlebars, I just sit on the bike, pull my hands up. You'll see me do that here in a little bit, and you can watch how I do and set that up. But typically, I run my handlebar up and down and match the fork, give it a little love tap, tighten it up, and you're golden for me. Seat post, I run a little bit higher than I used to. It just seems to fit a little bit more comfortably on this particular bike. So let's talk about how to do it. What's up, boys? Welcome back to Big Bike BMX. Today we are going to talk about setting up a bike to fit your body depending on how tall you are and things like that. I've loaned this bike to a friend of mine for a ride out. He didn't have a bike, so I was like, dude, ride mine. So we adjusted it to fit him, his body is the way he rides his bike. And now I need to switch it back up, make it feel more comfortable for me. And we're gonna do a couple things with seat adjustment, handlebar adjustment, and really that's the main places where you are going to adjust how the bike feels. So if you just bought your big BMX bike, you just got it home, and depending on how you plan on riding it, we're going to walk over a couple things you can do to make your bike more comfortable and fit you perfectly every single time. Let's go. All right, so first things first, the first thing that I like to do is squeeze my brake lever. Obviously that's what you have to do when you grab a bike, but so I've recently just switched to the shorter stem. This is a 48 instead of a 56, or is it 46, 58? This is the 40 something, and normally I ride a 50 something, so it's a lot shorter, which brings the handlebars closer back towards the seat, so your handlebars aren't pushed way out this way when they actually line up. Right now I currently have the bars set at, if you look at the handle or the fork rake, there's the straight up. I typically pull them to where they're straight up and down with the fork, and then I give them a little love tap to tap them backwards. So these are slightly pulled back. I've already adjusted that when I put the stem on. But this is the Supercross Racer Head front load stem. The bolt on top is a Potsmod bolt I got from Shane from BMX Ultra. It's a Supercross bolt, but it's hollow, so I'll be able to run my front brake through here and have a Potsmod. But I just haven't had a chance to go down to the bike shop and grab a new olive and barb so that I can run it. So still need to do that. But anyway, the bars are pulled back because I like my bike. What I'm trying to do is make this 29 for as close to my 26 as far as like the where everything lands, because I switch between both bikes, the 26 and the 29. So the closer I can get them to the same is perfect. The seat, I usually go 1 inch above like a fist, so I might even actually lower this just a little bit. Looks a little bit taller than I normally run them. A fist, that's about 1 inch, but I might drop it a little bit, we'll see. I do run my seat down at an angle so that when I do a wheelie, the seat's a little bit more horizontal. Makes it a little easier. And then I run a pretty slammed rear end. There you go. All right, so we are going to do things like, first things first, what I like to do is I'm gonna lower this just a little bit. I think that's a little bit lower than I normally run, and that's okay, because I can see if that's the way I still want to run it. So let's see, I'm going to run this low like that. We'll see how that feels. Do a couple wheelies, and then we'll come back and see. I know the handlebars are exactly where I want them, but what happens is you'll see when you sit on the bike and you pull your hands up, you want them to be able to grab this pretty close so that when you're riding down the street normally, it's real comfortable. So you'll see that here in a second. Let's get the bike off the rack. So we're gonna mess with the seat. We're gonna take a look at the bars. Let's get it off the rack. If I were just pedaling around town, I would say this is the perfect distance for me. My legs, if I'm sitting on the seat and I'm at a stoplight, I'm not falling over. I'm on the seat, but my feet are planted. So that's a good sign. Let's go get to Chesty and see if I got lucky on the first try. All right, so here we go. I'm on. Tilt this down a bit so we get a better look at it. So my feet are planted on the ground. I'm sitting on the seat. If this was just a cruising bike, that is exactly where I want it. So that is basically just a fist full, and that's perfect. Let's go take a wheelie lap. Shout out to that guy. All right, let's see. How easy do I pull it? All right, well, the wheelie's there, but I'm fighting the balance point a lot. I don't know how to describe this, but the balance point where the seat is right now, it's high and I can ride it if I tuck up, but I'm using a lot of bicep. So I know if I pull my seat up a bit, okay, I pulled it up 1 inch over fist. Now let's see how this feels. So I'm on my tippy toes, the balls, the pads of my feet when I sit on the seat. Flat if I go over just a little bit. Let's see how this feels when I wheelie though. So much easier. One hand. Coast. Already so much easier with just lifting the seat 1 inch. Yeah. And the bars are perfect. So, handlebar position, the way I like to do it, my hands are down here, I'm just sitting wherever I lift my hands, and I'm just lifting up. So they would be back here, but I don't want to move them back that far. So they're probably literally just one fist in front of that for my bar distance. So there you go. If you get a new bike, when you get a new bike, pay attention to the handlebar position. Decide where you want it. The easiest ways to adjust your seat post. Try it higher, try it lower, see which one feels better based off of what you're doing. If I was just pedaling, I'd lower that a little bit and I would straighten this out more horizontal, but for wheelies I do like it down a little bit. Now this is one other important thing about positioning your bike. Let's see if I get this under here. So under there, the rails. So under there, the rails slide forward and backwards I try and run my seat pushed back as far as I can so that it puts more of my weight over. Oh, let me sit up. So one other thing you can do when you're adjusting your bike is your seat position. There are rails under here that slide forward and backwards. I run my seat back so that my balance is over the rear axle and the rear wheel, especially when it's up in a wheelie. So the farther back I can get over this back tire, the more balance I'll have. So I run my seat pushed back this way, which also means that the shorter stem and the bars being back match that. If I wasn't riding wheelies, I was just cruising around, I'd probably run my seat a little far forward, and then you can run really any stem. But that's my take on setting up your new bike. When you first get it, the seat position up and down, the seat direction up and down, and then on the rail where it's at, there's 3 things you can adjust: height, position on the rail, and then angle. Those all 3 will make your bike feel dramatically different. Up in the stem area, up in the front. Handlebar position, you can obviously forward, back, real far forward, Chicago, back, or perpendicular with either just straight up and down with the fork, or what I do with it, just match the fork and the handlebar, give it a love tap so it taps back just a little bit and you're golden. So, but there you go, friends. Every bike can be, get that in there nice and clean, there we go. So every bike can be adjusted to fit you, whether it's a 29 or a 26. I love the 26, but the 29 is super fun to ride for me when I'm doing longer rides. So I just want to be able to wheelie them and have a really good time. Setting it up, making it a little bit shorter for me seems to be the difference. Running the seat post a little bit higher, you can kind of see the difference there of where it was here, where it is now, and how much easier it is for me to wheelie it. You saw it. So have fun, go ride your bikes, tune them to fit your specific body. All right, y'all, thanks for watching how to size up your new big BMX bike and make it feel comfortable for you. It's super easy. It takes maybe 10 minutes total, and that includes like a ride around to see and check your work to see what feels best for you. But the real key here is everyone is unique. Everyone's individual learning style is different. Set up your bike to match you. That's going to be the most important thing. Don't worry about what you see some pro doing with their bike and their setup. Set it up for the way you like it. Doesn't matter if you're doing wheelies or you're just pedaling long distance or you're just pedaling down to the store and back. Make your bike fit you and your style, the size of your legs, upper body. Almost had a burp. But make your bike fit your particular style, your body shape, your leg, how high you are, how tall you are, your leg distance, your upper body. Some people are short-waisted, some people have real tall torsos, so all of that comes into play, and not every bike is going to fit you right out of the box, but it will fit you once you do some adjustments. So have some fun, tweak your bikes, go ride them. Right now it's winter time, so it's a good time to tune them up, clean them up. I'm wearing a sweatshirt today. It's in Arizona and I'm wearing a hoodie. Shout out to Larry and Stacked, love you guys. But yeah, go set up your bike, have some fun, and enjoy learning about your bike and ways that you can make them fit you, because in the future it'll only make things faster for you, easier for you, and more enjoyable. And that's the whole point of this whole thing. So have fun, bros. We'll see you soon. Go ride your bikes. All right, so I think a lot of this, I'm just taking my 6mm, I'm gonna put it in my pocket real quick. Most of this video is gonna be kind of a POV, because right now my bike feels good. I've got a shorter stem here. Let me move my camera a little bit. So what I've done is I've actually got a shorter 48mm stem, so it brings the bars back towards me. So now I just gotta figure out where to put the bars and seat position, if I like where it's at right now. So let's go take it for a ride. Pop that up a little bit. All right, seat feels kind of high, but maybe that's all right. Handlebars feel okay. Brakes are good. All right, I can float. So right now the way my bike is sitting, I hope this makes sense. The balance point is the wheel's a lot higher than I'm used to on my 26. I'm gonna head out here. So control, I can make the turns. That's good. One hand. Struggling with the one hand. Okay. So I know my balance isn't where I want it. So I gotta figure out if it's bars. So if this is comfortable, I'm just basically riding, bringing my hands up, straight, boom, they're about right there. I know my bars back that far won't feel good. So let's go out here. Looks like you're turning with no signal, that's awesome. All right. Yeah, I'm fighting myself right now. I think it's my seat post position. If I try and drop one hand, I feel like I'm fighting myself. All right, I think it's the seat post being too high. Let me drop my seat post just a little bit. Drop my seat post about 1 inch. Not much, but see if that makes it better or worse. Much better. See, I find myself way less. One hand, so much smoother. Yes. Try it again. Easier to yank up. Got my turn, one hand. All right, one hand's good. Let's say I got him. Good enough. Let me see what frame. I have to talk to you. All right. All right, I think I got it dialed. So is my seat position.